I need to keep people from going in the gorge?
No. You need to stop what's in the gorge from coming out. What if?
They were supposed to stay buried and forgotten, bound by the gorge that sealed them. But what if they didn't? What if the Hollow Men broke free? Scott Derrickson's The Gorge gave us a perfect containment scenario. Fairly ancient yet familiar entities, the Hollow Men, trapped beneath a remote crevice, kept there by sacrifice, secrecy, and silence. But today, we tear open that seal. What if the Hollow Men escaped? What happens to the world, to humanity, and to the broken rules of life and death? Let's recap what we know about the Hollow Men. Sometime after the end of World War II, an experiment was held by the Allied forces, including the United States, England, and the Soviet Union. Now, at first, their mission was to do extensive research on the advancement of chemical weapons, intended to rival the power of the Manhattan Project. But Earth had a different plan in mind. A catastrophic 8.1 earthquake upset their progress. The earthquake had caused the chemicals to mix with human, plant, animal, and insect DNA, creating the Hollow Men from an army battalion stationed on the project, and thus their only duty became to contain the biochemical toxin. Now, even though the Hollow Men are rage-induced monstrosities, their intelligence is still intact. As we see in the movie, they are able to lay traps and ambush their prey, which makes them all the more dangerous, besides them having mutated appendages. For the sake of this video, we're just gonna say that the gorge defenses failed. Maybe during all the romance, Drassa and Levi neglected their duties. By the time the alarm sounded, the command center was already dark, torn open like a wound. Drassa's final message looping silently on a cracked screen, while Levi's rifle lays empty on the ground. They didn't just break free, they scattered into the woods, and that's when the world changed. Truth be told, all it takes is one of these freaks making it out of the gorge and off the island. If we want to keep it real with ourselves, once they get in the water, it's all over. The Hollow Men aren't just monsters, they're vessels, walking plagues of fused DNA, chemical corruption, and now all of it is bleeding into the sea. It's at this point where containment becomes impossible. It's being carried by the currents, absorbed by the fish. Considering it'll have to go the way of the water, it'll hit coastal areas first, like California, Texas, New York, and if that didn't spell our doom enough for you, just know that once it hits those coastal states, there's no way for us to flee. We're stuck on the mainland with mutated monstrosities. Now, the Hollow Men escaping is apocalyptic enough, but they're just the start. What lies beneath the gorge, the things birthed in that missile silo, that's just evolution gone wrong. And once they make it on land, just kiss your life goodbye. Do you remember the tree Levi landed beside after falling into the gorge? Well, the roots he landed on weren't just roots. After what looks to be teeth appeared from the ground, it was clear that thing wasn't a tree. It was a predator, plant, animal, something in between. But that's not the best part. I guess you could call it the mouth of the creature has some type of adhesive to it that prevents its dinner from escaping. If you make contact with it, unless you have someone or something to cut you loose, you will inevitably become its meal. Now imagine that thing taking root in a central park or the woods in your backyard. This next creature chips at some people's phobia, which I think makes it a runner-up for most terrifying. That's right, spiders. But these aren't just normal spiders. These little mutated arachnids carry human skulls as their central body mass. Literal human skulls. Tell me with a straight face that's not something straight out of a damn nightmare. Cities built for humans can't defend against nightmares designed to infiltrate them. Just another reason for Australia to be the worst place on the planet. But the most terrifying piece, the heart of the mutation, is the silo. That pit of yellow bio goop humming with faces just beneath the surface. It's never explained what the yellow goo is, but if I had to guess, it's a womb. That silo isn't a relic. It's a nursery, and inside that sticky, luminous cocoon, life is changing. New creatures and mutations incubated by the gorge's infection, waiting to hatch. Now picture that goo spread across our oceans, connected to the roots in our soil. Honestly, it'd probably be just like the fungus strands in the Last of Us TV show. Anywhere the infection touches, those cocoons could form, and when they do, the next generation of Hollow Men won't be soldiers. They'll be evolved, with all different kinds of species added to its collection. Dogs, birds, alligators, bears. The gorge isn't just a containment breach, it's a contagion of biology itself. Once it's loose, it doesn't just conquer, it replaces. Earth wouldn't look like Earth for long. This isn't just the end of the world, it's the end of definition, of biology, geography, and identity. Once the Hollow Men escape, the planet stops being Earth and starts becoming something else. A festering, sprawling body horror landscape where the air pulses, the rivers bleed, and the trees breathe like lungs stitched from bone and bark. There won't be a miracle cure, no last-minute escape pod or bunkered resistance, just the slow, irreversible transformation of the planet into something unrecognizable, aggressive, and very much alive. And I know you're probably thinking, oh, the army would wipe them out. No, they wouldn't. What are we going to do when our oceans are nothing but pools of toxic sludge? How about our soil rotting with disease, or our air infecting us with every breath we intake? If civilians aren't the target with intentions of saving them from a fate worse than death, the only thing that nuking would do is speed up the process of humanity going extinct. Earth isn't a planet anymore, it's a womb, and whatever it's birthing is everything but a child of God. If you enjoyed unraveling this nightmare, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next descent into the abyss. Thanks for diving into this disaster with me. This has been BleakReels, where the world ends beautifully and often. See you in the next one.